Welcome to this reading. I just got up this morning and Spirit said, you're going to be doing a huge reading today. People need to understand what's being released in this eclipse season. What's being released, because huge energies have been moving. Huge energies have been shifting celestially and in the energetic space. And if those movements are happening in those spaces above, for sure they're happening in the spaces below. What's happening on the macrocosm is happening on the microcosm. So when these celestial bodies move, when these energies shift, there are things that are being shifted and moved and removed from our lives. What's trying to be removed from yours? What's trying to be released? Some of you have been holding on to, I'm hearing identities. For some of you is subconscious beliefs. For some of you is fears. Some of you, you've been holding on to these huge things. These are not small things, huge things that life is trying to remove to get you to release so that you can move forward. So you should be seeing 3 piles on the screen. I want you to take a moment right now, tune into your spirit, ask your soul for guidance. If it's spirit guides for you, ask your spirit guides, ask your higher self, ask God, ask the universe, ask whoever and whatever you connect with to show you right now through this reading what is trying to be released from your life, what huge thing is falling away, what blockage is being removed. After you've set that intention, whatever pile is calling to you is the correct pile for you. Welcome, pile number 1, to your reading. Pile number 1, your crystal is the pyrite crystal, also called the fool's gold. People use this a lot to manifest. People keep it in their office space. If you keep this by your desk, that energy of abundance, that energy of what is meant for you is going to be continuously present in your space. So I'm excited to see what's gonna come up with this pyrite crystal for pile number 1. Okay, pile number 1. I have shuffled your cards and the spread that came out is quite interesting. So the first card that came out is the 7 of Cups. Is this focusing? There we go. The 7 of Cups. And I can see that you're feeling in this time, you're feeling like you're in a waiting room. And it makes sense because we are smack dab as I record this, even though this is a timeless reading. Whenever you see this reading, it will fit into what's happening for your life because that's just the way spirit works. But at the time of this reading, we're smack dab in between the solar eclipse in Libra and the full moon eclipse in Taurus. Yes, that's correct. We're right in the middle. The full moon eclipse is in, I think, the next 2 days. And the energy is strange. The energy is strange. It's giving waiting room energy. It's giving like you're in an elevator. You're not at the ground floor where you boarded, and you're not at the top floor where you're trying to go. You're right in the middle, just standing in this little elevator with like little elevator music playing in the background. That's what you're feeling right now. You're feeling like you're neither here nor there. You're neither up nor down. You're just in this weird middle space where not much is happening. And you're in that middle space because you've done a lot of work on yourself. You've done a lot of work on yourself in the past. You've done a lot of manifesting. You've done a lot of like shifting your vibration, shifting your thought patterns. You've done a lot of that work. You are now in the pending phase where the universe is bringing it in. It's like I see a little bar and it's like halfway full and it says in progress. You are standing in the middle of the in progress phase. Things that are waiting to come into your life haven't quite materialized yet. And it can be frustrating. It can be frustrating because in this space, a lot of people kind of lose faith in what what they've been pushing for. They lose hope, they drop their vibration, and all of these things delay what's coming. And I want to put emphasis on delay what's coming, because what is yours will always be yours regardless of what happens. What is meant for you will come for you. The only variable is how or when. And so you're in this elevator waiting room, and also you can see multiple paths ahead of you as well. For some of you, this waiting room is manifesting itself as a bunch of options, a bunch of paths, a bunch of things, like ideas coming in that you could do to step into the next phase of your life, and you're standing there confused. You don't know which one to choose. You're afraid to choose because you don't want to choose the wrong one, because things didn't work out in the past and you feel like you might have made the wrong decision in the past. And Spirit is saying you never made any wrong decisions on your path. You just chose the path that you needed in order to evolve into the person you needed to be in order to have the things you've asked for. That's what I'm getting for you, pal number one. You're in this waiting energy. And the reason why you're in this waiting energy, and it feels, you can strongly feel this energy of anticipation, like, let's go, let's go, let's go. Like, I know something is happening. I know I'm not where I used to be. I know, like, I'm on the edge. I'm like, it's like brimming over. Like, I just want to go, but I know it's not quite here yet. You're feeling that so strongly because you're in this Queen of Cups energy. I'm trying to get this to focus. There we go. You're in this Queen of Cups energy. Look at the person in this card. The posture is the posture of complete surrender. She's surrounded by energy. Energy has taken over. I'm hearing for some of you are destined for very particular things. Yes, we have free will about what we want to do with our life, but some of you are destined to have certain things, certain really big things, like they're big themes in your life that you're supposed to walk through, complete, and bring forth. And for some of you, those themes are pushing through right now. And what has to happen in order for these big energies, these big themes to manifest in your life is you have to be in a place of complete surrender. And so you may have just gone through in the past week or two a series of unfortunate events. That's a message for me. A series of unfortunate events, because for most of us, in order to get to this place of complete surrender, life has to slap us. Because if you're anything like me, I like to be in control of what I'm doing. I don't need to control people. I just like to be in control of what I'm doing, where I'm going. And sometimes life has to slap the crap out of me so that I put my hands up and say, take the wheel, so that what is for me can come in for me. Because remember, our human perspective cannot see the big picture. And that's the thing with us. We keep thinking we know what's best. We know what's best to a degree. However, we don't have the sight to see from above and see the whole picture. We can only see so far. And so there are energies that can see further than us, that know what the right path is for us, that knows the path to the things that we're asking for. We're insisting on going right when they can see that what you've been praying for every night is on the left. So some of you are being pushed into surrender. Things are being taken off your path, taken away from you, so that you can sit in the energy of surrender. So that you can sit into the energy of open hands, open heart. I'm willing and I'm ready to receive. The only place you can be in the only way you can be in the energy of receptivity is by releasing your own designs, your own control, your own thinking of how it should be, if that makes sense. The only way to be in the energy of surrender is to have open hands. And for some of you, the only way to have open hands is if someone slaps you. And so if you have had that happen in the past week or two where nothing is going right, you've made your plans and God has laughed, sit back and laugh with him. Just sit back and say, okay, just laugh with him and After you're finished being upset or disappointed, say, okay, I know that everything in my life happens for a reason, and so now I'm just going to sit back and see what the reasoning was. Why did this not work out? Why did that not happen the way I wanted to? I am open to sitting and seeing. Some of you have not put yourself into the energy of I am open to sitting and seeing, so you're not seeing anything. You're just seeing the terrible experiences coming and thinking, oh, my life is shit. Oh, I do this and I do that and bad things still happen to me. Oh. Open your eyes, widen your perceptions. Some of you, your perceptions are this narrow, small, tiny, this narrow, and life is slapping the walls of your perception to widen it, because nothing can happen for you if you're not able to open the space to receive it. If your perception is here, only things that can fit in that small space will come into your life. Some of you, you're being pushed to widen the receptivity of your container. Some of you are being pushed to widen your container so that you can receive the grandiose energy that you've been praying for. Make sense? So how do you move from this elevator room, crappy things happening to me, pushing me into surrender energy? If you're at the energy where you're like, okay, I surrender, how do we move from here? The Devil card is what came out in that position. And if you notice on the Devil card, he has strings tied to this person here, and that person looks like they're going through it. The way to move out of this space and into the next place, move out of the waiting room and into the destination for this level, is releasing your mind, releasing your thoughts, releasing these strings, those strings that I just talked about, releasing the strings that bind you to this closed perception of who you are, what you're meant to be, what you're meant to do. Some of you have a view of yourself. You have this mold of who you are in this world and how this world responds to you, and your life is playing out in this mold. Even though you desire something else, your life is playing out in this mold of your own expectations for yourself. And some of you have been fooled into thinking, because I desire so much, I desire more abundance, I desire more love, of course I desire a better life. You're fooled into thinking this burning desire for more means you're in the right energy to receive more, and you're not. You have strings from your mind tied to this tiny mold of your perception of who you are and how your life plays out and your position in this life. And I'm hearing that for some of you, it's the mold that you were born into, who your parents expect you to be, who society says you are, what class society says you are, what class society says you are based on your skin color, based on the amount of money in your bank account, based on the family you were born into. There are these old molds that are still around your energy, and this eclipse energy is trying to like take a hammer and break that mold, shatter that mold, and release the energy inside. Some of you, your energy, not some of you, all of you, your energy is big, it's wide, your potential is huge, your ability is huge and without measure, but you have allowed yourself to be imprisoned in this tiny mold of who people say you are, who people believe you to be. And so this eclipse energy is trying to shatter that mold to get you to understand this perception of who you were for the past almost 10 years. It's too small for who you actually are. Release it. And when you release that, here's what your energy is trying to get to in the next step. The Three of Pentacles. And if you notice in this card, there are multiple people working on this beautiful tapestry. And if you notice too, there are little strings from this person to the tapestry here. Like there's strings all around. For some of you, Spirit is trying to get you to release yourself from this illusion of aloneness, smallness, aloneness. I have to do everything myself. No one loves me. No one understands me. No one sees me. This illusion of separation. Ooh, thank you, Spirit. This illusion of separation. One of the biggest lies, one of the biggest deceptions on this planet, in this reality, is the illusion of separation that says you are alone. No one cares. You're connected to no one and you have to do this by yourself. You do not. Spirit is trying to show you, not only are you not alone, you are reflected in everyone else. And when you understand that everyone around you reflects you, is you, and loves you, that mold will start to just melt away easily. I'm hearing that some of you need to research and learn and go on the journey of understanding the law of one. Go look into it. Go understand that concept, because that's going to be key in ushering the new age of your life. For some of you, you've been having shitty relationships, whether romantic, whether friendship, whether working relationships. You've just, anytime you give someone a chance, it turns south, it turns sideways. And you've been having crappy relationships because of your crappy relationship with yourself. All the relationships that have been coming into your life are trying to reflect to you the most important, or the main relationship in your life, the relationship with yourself. And so you're being challenged through this message to look at the relationships around you that are not working out. Look at why they haven't worked out, and then look into yourself and say, how is this issue reflecting my relationship with myself? If someone lied to you or betrayed you, look at yourself and say, how have I betrayed myself? Do I have a habit where I am continuously self-abandoning? Do I have a habit where I promise myself something and then I turn around and do the exact opposite? How is this relationship and the issues in this relationship reflecting the issues I'm having with myself? Because I promise you, every single relationship that shows up in your life is reflecting to you something about your relationship with yourself. And so if you want the key, oh, this is super important. If you want the key to shifting the relationships you have in this world, whether it's romantic, whether it's family, whether it's platonic, the key is to understand how they relate to how you relate to yourself. Once you start to shift that relationship with yourself to reflect what you want others to reflect back to you, everything works out. If you want unconditional love, if you want someone to pamper you, if you want yada yada yada, do those things for yourself first, and then people will come in to reflect what you are doing for you. Make sense? And the next card that came out right after that, Three of Pentacles, is the Three of Cups. Relationships is a really important thing for you right now. And what you're gonna see in your life right now as you release the illusion of separation, as you release the illusion that is binding your perception, that's binding your mind and binding your reality, beautiful relationships are going to start flowing in your life. Beautiful friendships that fill your cup. Beautiful sisterhoods, beautiful brotherhoods, beautiful relationships that's going to enhance your life. Because I have a feeling that the people in this pile are loners. I have a feeling that the people in this pile, two different people. They're the loners who are physically alone because they choose to be alone. They want to walk that lone path, that lone wolf mentality, that I can do this all by myself, I don't need no help mentality. And then there are those of you who you do have lots of people around you, lots of friends, popular, all these things, but you are alone in a full room. No matter how many people are around you, you always feel alone. No matter how many people are talking to you and laughing with you, you always feel alone because no one has touched your heart. No one has connected to you in the way that you need to be connected to. And so what's shifting for you as this false sense of identity, or this old identity, is being shattered by the energies that are around right now, is new, beautiful, healthy, sustaining relationships are coming into your life. And you're going to be learning how to be comfortable receiving help. You're going to be learning how to be comfortable working with other people, trusting other people, being close with other people, opening up with other people. That's so beautiful. Every time I see this card, I just love it. It's such a beautiful card. Look at the purple there. Look at the beautiful women in the dresses and the stars. It's reflecting the beauty of the relationships that are trying to come into your life next. Oh, that's lovely. So what's your new beginning that's coming after this shedding period, after the season of change and just turmoil and transformation is over? What's coming in for you is the Chariot reversed and the Page of Swords reversed. Now, I'm an intuitive reader, and what I'm intuitively getting from this is what's coming in is a period of inner alchemy that's really quick. That moves really quickly. I feel like for most of you, for most of your life, things have been moving very slowly. Not slowly in a stagnant way, but in a consistent and grounded way. You've been shifting and you've been changing and you've been having inner alchemy. Like that whole process happened slowly but surely. But right now, it's almost like you've done most of the alchemy that you need to do. And after this last huge shedding of identity, your alchemy is just gonna happen really quickly, really effortlessly, really it just doesn't require as much work as it used to. It's almost like you've graduated to a certain level where you've struggled all the way up, and now that you're here, once you pass here, it's no more struggle. It's just, oh, this is easy. Ah, this is the lesson. Oh, I see why this has happened. It's because X, Y, and Z. Let me shift that real quick. Effortless. Like you're the master now. Like you've mastered enough. You've switched your perception enough. You're in tune with yourself enough to see lessons like this and shift energy like that. That is really beautiful. And the Page of Swords reverse, I'm hearing that you're going to be getting clearer guidance from the inside. So this is the Page of Swords card. I just put it upright so that you can see what's happening. She is like balancing on this tiny looking plank thing, reading a book, holding those ideas like balloons. Like, first of all, most people would be scared to be on this plank, but she's making it look effortless, reading a book, holding something. She's not even worried. That's the energy that I just explained. Like, nothing is phasing you anymore because you're the master now. And when I read it upside down, what I get is the things that used to throw you off your path, the things that used to drop your vibration, make you question everything. Now you're like, psh, child, please. I know who I am. I know what I am. I'm connected with my gifts. Nothing can keep me off this path. Nothing can push me off this path. I'm hearing that you're going to be getting clear inner guidance. When I see those light bulbs that she's holding in the air like that, clear inner guidance when it comes to money, ideas to make more money, ideas for your business. It's just like it's almost like everything you touch from now on is about to be gold, because you're gonna have such a clear path with the divine. You're gonna be getting divine inspiration that when acted upon, okay. Also notice that she has the birds flying around her head right here. In previous cards, the birds were attacking people in their mind. Those were the thoughts attacking people. Now you've balanced. Mentally, you're balanced. Mentally, you've reached the level of master. And it doesn't mean that you don't have bad thoughts or you don't have moments where you doubt yourself. It's just that you have now reached a level of mastery where you do not allow that to dictate what's happening around you. You will see those thoughts and you transmute them immediately. That's a beautiful place to be in. And the lesson, this is your last card, pile one. The lesson that you're learning coming out of all of this, King of Pentacles. I told you, you're the master. You're the master. This phase of your life is ending and you are coming out as the master on top. You've mastered 3D reality almost, it feels like, because this King of Pentacles, see, he's holding his pentacle right there that represents earth energy. You're sitting in your power. You are in control, but you're in control not in the way you were in control before. Because remember, the universe slapped you and made you release control. It's that paradox of releasing control to the universe is giving you control of your life. Ooh. And that's what I feel from this King of Pentacles. You're such a master that you are comfortable sitting in the midst of paradox, where people will stand in the middle of paradox and be confused, like, oh, but this, but also this doesn't make any sense. What do I do? And there's a spirit of confusion. You as a master, you sit in the middle of paradox and you know, ooh, this is exactly where I need to be, right in between the poles. in this reality of duality, and with this law of polarity, sometimes on the path it's so confusing, but once you reach to a level where you understand this is just the facts of 3D physical existence and you need to be comfortable sitting in between the poles, you've unlocked reality. And that's what's shifting for you, pile one, with these eclipses that are happening right now. You are being given the key to 3D reality. Whoa, that is beautiful. I don't know who you are, but child, you've arrived. you've arrived. And what's beautiful about the spiritual journey is anytime you arrive and you look around, you realize how much you don't know and how much you have not arrived. You've arrived, but then you realize, oh man, look, what's over there? There's more to learn over there. There's more to climb and there's more to see. It's just a beautiful path. It's just a beautiful path. And pile number one, I just would like to say congratulations on having the keys to reality. And I can see in your reading, you've earned it. You've earned it. You've done the work. And you're just riding this energy of transformation. That is beautiful. Thank you so much for tuning into this reading. And for those of you who want to take advantage of this energy in a powerful way, join my healing community. In that community, we're going to be doing energy healing twice a month, shadow work guides each week for you to do self-paced in your own life as you see needed, and also just a community of like-minded people. When things come up, you can post in the community, you'll hear different perspectives, you'll get help. It's just a beautiful space to be in. Check it out. I'll have the link in my bio below. Is it a bio? Oh, it's a description box. This is for YouTube, isn't it? Okay, pile number one, thank you for being here with me. And I'll see you in my next video. Hello, pile number two. Welcome to your reading. You chose the blue calcite. And immediately I'm drawn to the color of this crystal, and I'm feeling a lot of unblocking with the throat, and I'm hearing with the throat in regards to spirituality. Maybe some of you who are picking this pile, you have been in the zone of indecision when it comes to what you believe in. You know you believe in maybe God or something, but you're not sure what it is. Or you know you want to do a spiritual practice, but you're not sure which ones to follow. I feel this confusion around who you are when it comes to spirituality and maybe religion. And it also reflects a bit of confusion about who you are, identity, which makes complete sense because collectively we're having a shift in our identity when it comes to all of these solar eclipses, lunar eclipses. There's a lot of identity shifting and transformation going on. So let's get into this reading. Okay, pile number 2, I've taken a look at your cards and I can see that you are on a journey. Now, yes, everyone's on a journey, but you are on an intentional journey. You're intentionally on a certain path. The cards that came out, the 6 of Swords, and if you notice the imagery, this woman is in a boat and she's being pulled by those 3 blackbirds. There are 3 in the distance as well. You can see she has, let me put it a little closer. She has her bags in one hand and she's holding her hair, I think, in the other. Like she is going somewhere. She's not going somewhere. She's being led somewhere. The card that came out with that card, 2 cards jumped out instead of 1, is the 8 of Cups reversed. You are walking away from something internally. It feels like you're coming out of a place where you didn't control your thoughts controlled you. I'm feeling this feeling of helplessness, like almost like being tugged to and fro by life, not being in control, just things just happening to you over and over from all directions. It's just like this chaos energy. You're moving out of that chaos energy. It's like you're moving out of this storm time in your life, and it's because you've given up control. As you remember the woman's in the boat being led, you're now at the place where you're not fighting the waves. You're not fighting the winds and the waves anymore. You're just like, okay, all right, let me see where I'm going. You carry me, you take me. And I keep hearing this, there's an internal battle going on. You're fighting this battle between who you used to be and who you are now. It feels like there are 2 people inside your body right now. And don't be afraid, it's not actually 2 people, but it's like there's the old version of you with old ideas, old beliefs, old habits, and then there's this new version of you. And this new version of you has been created by the things you've been studying. You've been looking into spirituality. You've been working on yourself, doing different modalities, and all of that work is creating this new version of you. The issue is you're moving into this new version of you, but you have not yet left the old version of you. So there are these 2 energies, or there's 2 versions of you battling it out, duking it out inside of you. And so that's creating a lot of turmoil, because I'm going to come up to the next set of cards that I pulled, and it is filled with turmoil, and I'm understanding what that turmoil is about right now. For some of you, you're walking away from the life that you've built for the past 10 years. Some of you have had to walk away from people, maybe long-term relationships. Some of you have had to walk away from the ideas or the views you had of what you want your life to be. It's almost like life has been fighting you so much, you're like, fine, I release it. And for some of you, it's a good thing, because the ideas of what you wanted for your life were just too small, I'm hearing. You wanted a 2-bedroom, cute little house by the river, and Spirit's like, we want to give you a palace. For some of you, your sights were aimed too low. Your perception of yourself is too small, and the reason you're getting this storm that's caused you to be on this journey is because life is trying to shake that up. Life is trying to release that from you, these small ideas, this small perception of who you are and what you can do and what change you can affect on the world. Spirit is shaking it up, because they're like, no. You're bigger than this. You're more than this. You have more to give to the world, and we're gonna show you. So all of the piles are receiving a shaking up, which makes sense. That's what eclipse energy is for. It's for transformation. It's for shifting the ground on which we stand. And the cards that I pulled that showed me chaos, the Emperor, I'm trying to make it focus, the Emperor reversed, and the Knight of Wands upright. And even when the Knight of Wands came out, it dropped in a way where I wasn't sure if it was upright or reversed, and it just gave me that energy of chaos. Like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know why these things are happening to me. I feel like I do everything that I should do, yet this keeps happening. I feel like, well, that was weird. Sorry, I just saw something. Anyway, that was, yeah, this energy of I'm doing all that I can and it feels like it's not enough. I'm trying as hard as I can, but life keeps hitting me down. And your message is, life keeps hitting you down because it's redirecting you to the right path for you to achieve your ultimate success and goal. And we spoke about this in pile 1. Some of you, your heart is in the right place and you've been doing the right amount of effort. You've been pushing, you've been trying, but you've been pushing and trying at the wrong thing. You've been pushing and trying down the wrong path. And like I explained before in pile 1 as well, it's not necessarily that the wrong path means that you won't get what you're supposed to get. It means, hey, this path is going to take you 10 miles to get to your goal. This one is only going to take you 1.5 miles. Go this way. And you're insistent on going down the 10-mile path. And you're like, no, no, no. And life is sending you things after things after things to like push you, redirect you to the right path. And so if you're in that space right now where there's lots of turmoil, because I'm seeing, you see this, the color, the theme here with the colors is this orange and yellow. It gives me the feeling of this afterglow when something is on fire. Like, if you ever see like the forest fires on TV and stuff, there's devastation taking place, but there's this beautiful glow in the sky. And it's like, there again is the duality, destruction, but beauty all in the same place. That's what I'm getting. Like, some of you, your life is being torn apart. Your relationships are being torn apart. People are leaving you. People are dropping you out of your life. You might feel abandoned. Like, you are being torn apart, but your message is to hold on, because these shitty things are happening to show you, to redirect you to beauty. In this tearing down, it's happening so that you can rise from the ashes of Phoenix. The main beauty of the Phoenix is the fact that it can rise from the ashes. Without the ashes and the fire, the Phoenix cannot see its light. The Phoenix cannot have its time. It cannot have its beautiful shining moment. The destruction, the fire, the smoke, the rubble must precede the Phoenix's moment. And you're the Phoenix right now, and your life is currently creating the rubble. It's currently creating the fire. The smoke is in the air. The next stage, honey, is you rising from the ashes. So hold on. Hold on. I'm hearing for some of you, what's trying to be released is your old belief systems of how the world works. Your old belief systems when it comes to religion and what it means to be connected to God, and what it means to worship God, what it means to be in contact or connection with God. Your identities are shifting on a huge level, but it has a lot to do with beliefs, thoughts. Everyone has an energetic house constructed out of their beliefs. Yours is being bulldozed down so that you can rebuild your belief system in a way that makes sense for you. Some of you, you've been following in a belief system that was created for you by your parents, that was created for you by your culture, where you were born. And so you've been following this default path, and Spirit is saying, You can't get where you need to be in somebody else's version of how the world works, in somebody else's version of what it means to be connected with God. You can only get where you need to be by reconstructing your belief system from the ground up. Looking at every belief. Do I believe this? Does this make sense? Or is this here because someone else put it there? You're going to be analyzing every single one of your beliefs and only putting things back up that make sense to you. That's what's happening for you right now. And you know what? It's a beautiful process. It's hard. It's confusing because the process of deconstructing is earth-shattering. It's mind shifting and identity shifting, and it's hard to be in that place. But once you do it and you build your own foundation based on your own principles, your own thoughts, your own experiences, nothing can shake that foundation when it's done. Nothing. And I'm seeing for you, pal number 2, that you're going on this journey. There's a lot of turmoil. There's a lot of things breaking down. There's a lot of, why is this happening to me? I'm just going to throw my hands up in the air and just show me, just show me, just show me. But the way to step out of this energy for you, similarly to pile 1, is understanding your connection to the universe, understanding your connection to spirit, understanding your connection to the 3D world around you, and understanding your connection to others. The card that came out for you is the 3 of Cups. Yeah, the 3 of Cups. And if you notice in this 3 of Cups card, it's 3 women standing together. The feeling of solidarity is there, but they are focused on the sky. And what's in the sky? Stars. Your path forward is to, in the midst of the turmoil around you here on the ground floor, understand that you are connected to higher powers. Understand that you are connected to the universe. You are connected to God on an intrinsic level, and to keep your head up. Say to yourself, even though the storm is raging around me here, I'm going to keep my eyes trained up. I'm going to keep my head above, because I know this is happening for a reason. I know that this is only going to be happening for a certain time. I know that if I keep my connection with the universe or God, whatever it is that your belief system denotes, if I keep my connection there, I will eventually walk through the storm and, like the phoenix, rise from the ashes. That is the basis of your reading. It's a hold on reading. It's a, you're in the middle of the storm. What happens for a lot of people in the middle of this confusion, they give up or they go backwards because it's too hard. You know what happens when you go backwards? You're gonna lay in the old version of you, and that cycle is gonna come around again to say, hey, you are not where you're supposed to be. Let's go. And you're going to get up again. And guess what? You're going to have to fight this same system that's right here, because you cannot bypass this destruction. The phoenix cannot bypass the phase of burning and destruction and skip to the emerging, right? So your message is, do not get so discouraged by this burning phase that you turn around and run back to the old version of you, because you will have to face this either now or next year when you decide to try again. This is going to always wait for you. So the best way forward is through. Ooh, powerful message for someone. And I hope this message stops someone from going back. Push through, because this is only going to endure for a time. This is not for the rest of your life. Push through to the end of this phase. Come out as the phoenix. Ooh. And as you push past that phase, and as you remember your connection to the one, as you remember your connection to the universe, what you're gonna pass through onto the other side of and pass through to become is this moon reversed. one with the secrets of the universe is what I'm hearing. Deeply connected to your ability to endure, your ability to push through, and your ability to connect and receive. I'm hearing some of you, you're in the making of, how would I put this? Sorry, sometimes it's really hard to translate into words what you feel in energy. So the words come out jumbled when you try to translate it. But for some of you, you're in light worker school right now. This crucible is happening so that you can come out into a place where you understand deep trust in the universe, where you understand how to connect past the 3D to get help, to connect past the 3D to get direction, to connect past the 3D to channel messages. Some of you are going through this time of turmoil, because in this time of turmoil is the place where human beings reach out beyond the physical. You will never hear a person call out for God in the way that they do when they're in deep trouble, when they're in deep danger, when they're in deep need. It's almost as if we need this energy of, I can't do this myself, in order to push past our mental limitations and push through and ask for help and open up to receiving help, open up to connecting to something beyond our physical senses. Some of you are being pushed to the point where you must reach out to the supernatural for help, and through that reaching out, you're going to understand the way the universe works. You're going to understand energy and spirituality, and that is the phoenix on the other end, because after you understand those concepts, after those things have helped you in your life, you're going to emerge on the other side as someone who is deeply connected with the truth, someone who can speak powerfully and speak confidently about the mysteries of the universe, about the nature of our origins, about the nature of who human beings are. I heard about the nature of our spirit. Ooh, this is a really spiritual pile. Some of you are beginners, but some of you have been doing this for a while. And what's happening for you now, some of you are OGs in the spiritual community and on your own journey. But what's happening for you now is an awakening that is just as strong as that first awakening years ago when you started on the spiritual path. It's almost like you're brand new because the level you're about to level up to, that's crazy. Some of you are releasing fear. Oh, a lot of you are being held back from your spiritual capabilities. We like to call them abilities or gifts. They're not actually gifts. They're normal functions of the human biotechnology that we have forgotten, that's now being remembered. For some of you, fear has been keeping them shut. Fear has been keeping these gifts shut off from you. Fear has been keeping your throat locked. Some of you, you've been like, you're learning, and you feel like I need to step up and say things, talk about the things that I'm learning, but it feels like you just can't. Like there's an energy pushing you forward to speak, but there's also an energy telling you you don't have anything to say. You're sitting in the middle of this duality. And what's unlocking for you when you get this connection with this oneness with the universe, after passing through your crucible, this deep connection, the moon reverse, this deep connection with the mysteries of the universe, this removal, this release of fear. What's trying to be released for you in this eclipse season is this huge barrier of fear. Oh, I don't know if my spiritual gifts develop more. Am I gonna see like a demon in the corner? Or am I gonna see some scary thing? Hollywood has conditioned us There's so many things that put fear in us when it comes to this community. You're removing all of that. You're releasing all of that right now. I'm hearing that some of you need to do shadow work around fear. Fear of your gifts. Fear of being more of who you are. Some of you are afraid of your potential. You're afraid of how big you really are. You're afraid of how powerful you really are. Ooh. Who are you? I like it. Because if you're afraid of that, honey, once that fear is removed, the phoenix that's about to rise from them ashes. Woo. Okay. Let's move on to the rest of these cards, because I need to wrap this up. But how do you get there? The Strength reversed. Tuning into the God within. Tuning into your heart space. Every human being has a spark of divinity inside. That is what animates this meat suit, this biotechnology, the spark of divinity inside. You need to focus on figuring out how to connect yourself with that energy. The energy is there. Every human being has it. If you didn't have it, you would be dead. The fact that you're alive means that divine spark is there. Figuring out how you can connect with that spark, because that spark is what will give you the strength to overcome and release and repel and release that fear block that's been blocking you from being all that you can be. That connection with the divine spark is the connection with one that's going to help unveil the mysteries of the universe to you. That connection with that divine spark is what's going to release the locks that are here on your throat. That connection with that divine spark is the key to everything. And the way to overcome this passage that you're in, this crucible that you're in, and to be one, to drop into that unity of oneness with the universe, to release the fear and unveil the mysteries of the universe, is to connect with that inner divine spark. And that's your message going forward. Connecting to that spark is going to mean different things for different people. So what you need to do is keep that in your mind as you go through your day to day. Wake up. What does it mean for me to connect with the divine spark? Feel what comes to you, listen to what comes to you. And the next day you ask that question again. And as you continuously ask that question in your mind, once your energy is searching, your spirit guides will present the answer. Seek and you shall find. And for your new beginning, after you've passed through this phase, after these eclipse energies have worked on your psyche and worked on your energetic body, your new beginning is the Magician. And the Magician jumped out with the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords reversed. These two cards together tell me that what's on the other side of all of this is a self-mastery that's like none you've ever seen before. Because if you look at the Magician, this person is manipulating energy. This person is not distracted by what's happening in the 3D, because this person understands that what is happening in the 3D are the ends of manifestations, things that have already manifested. There is no point in trying to change something that's manifested. It's already here. This person, this Magician, understands that the changes in the 3D that you want must be first made in energy. After this crucible, on the other end of all of these transformations, what's happening for you is this Magician energy. Being able to manipulate your thoughts, being able to manipulate energy in any which way you want to achieve whatever desired outcome you want in the physical realm. Because he who conquers his thoughts And remember, your first set of cards, it had these birds, these thoughts. He who conquers his thoughts conquers reality. He who conquers his thoughts conquers reality. You are going to come out on the end of this with an understanding. Not just an understanding, but having passed through the experiences that you've passed through, you're going to come up with an unshakable understanding of who you are and the mysteries of the universe. And through this unshakable understanding, your throat chakra will be unlocked because you will not be able to keep it in. The knowledge is going to pour out of you, and it's being poured out of you because the reason it's being poured into you is for you to receive, digest, and push out. Some of you are teachers, and a teacher can only teach what it understands. A teacher can only truly teach something that they've experienced. Have you ever had a teacher try to teach you something they know nothing about? It's the worst thing in the world. But a teacher who has lived something, who has breathed something, they're able to present those concepts to you in a way that you're able to grasp, feel. I'm hearing that the way you teach things, people will be able to understand it, not just from this perspective, they'll be able to understand it from all perspectives. They will have different dimensional levels of understandings of one concept because of the way you teach it, because of the way you've lived your life and the crucibles that you've lived through. That's beautiful. And lastly, oh no, not lastly, I have two more cards. The lesson you would have learned when it's all said and done. Death and rebirth. The understanding that for anything new to come, you must open your hands and release the old so that you have space in your hand to receive the new. A lot of you, your hand is open and you're like, my hand is open, I'm waiting to receive, but the universe isn't sending anything. It's because your hand is packed up with things that used to serve you, that used to work well for you and was important for you at the time that it came in, but you refuse to let it go. So your life is jam-packed with old shit. This eclipse energy is cleaning that out so you can get the new. Your lesson that you're learning is that sometimes, most times, more than likely, in order for huge change to happen, huge death must occur. Because even the process of death, as morbid as it is, death is simply a transmutation process. You do not cease to exist once you die. Death is a transmutation process from which you move from the physical to the spirit. Between physical and spirit is death. And so I'm hearing that some of you are understanding certain principles at a different dimension, because on one level death looks scary. I remember when I used to be afraid of death. So much so that when I was a child, I used to have this nightmare that I died and I would wake up crying. I was afraid of death. And even as an adult, I used to be afraid of death. Oh, what if someone hurts me? If I go here, like that idea. Now I'm like, child, I'm ready to die at any point. I'm ready. Because I now have a different understanding of what death means. You're coming out on the end of this with a different understanding of life itself. A different understanding of what it means to be here in this physical reality and what it means to live this human experience. And that understanding is something that you're going to be conveying and helping other people shift into understanding those processes and those concepts. That is beautiful, pile number 2. Lastly, the oracle card that I pulled for you to just end this is Imrama. Is it Imrama? Yeah, Imrama. And I'm going to read. The Celtic word Imrama means a journey of the soul. Exactly what I said when I started this reading. You are on a journey, an intentional journey. A voyage on which we don't know where we're going, but our soul knows the way. If you pull this card, you're either being called on a soul journey or you are already on one. It could be to a physical ancient place or a metaphoric. When we journey to places that our soul remembers, a shift takes place, both within us and to the planet as well. You are being called to journey to a place that is sacred to your soul. Perhaps it's to journey to the world's sacred sites, or called to cross the country, climb a mountain, lie on the desert floor, or drink from an ancient well. There are places to see and old friends to meet. I see spontaneous pilgrimages in your future. If a physical voyage is impossible, journey through the portal of your heart. Follow the invisible soul trail and be willing to explore. Maybe read a book or watch a movie about a sacred time or place. Or perhaps you're being called to study an ancient lineage or body of work. Whatever your circumstance, your soul is ready to journey deep. I'm gonna leave it right there, pile 2. I'm gonna leave it right there. And if you are feeling this crucible right now, and you want to use this crucible energy, this eclipse energy to really work through your shadow, really work on your energy and really propel yourself forward to the next stage, consider joining my healing community. We do energy healing twice a month, one every 2 weeks. There are weekly shadow work guides, so you don't have to sit and think about, okay, what is it that I need to do? What practice do I need to do? It can be a bit overwhelming. Join the community. All of that is laid out for you. All right, pile number 2, I'll see you in my next video. Welcome to your reading, pile number 3, the last pile, the carnelian. And even before I pull a card, I'm just looking at this stone and I'm feeling that this pile is for people who are extremely advanced on their spiritual journey. Extremely advanced meaning you've been doing this for a while. Your eyes have been opened for a while. You have a lot of knowledge when it comes to spiritual things. You're deeply connected. You've been doing this. You've been doing this for a while. There's some changes that are coming in when it comes to your work. There's some changes that are coming in when it comes to the way you approach your work. I feel like you've been doing your light work in a certain way for a while. And what's coming in for you is, or what you need to release now is the, what would I call this? Comfortability of how you've always done things. The way you're doing things now served you in the past, served you well in the past, and it served your clients and other people very well in the past. But now it's time for you to release that mode of doing things, that way of doing things, and open yourself up to the way Spirit wants you to move forward right now. I'm feeling a pivot in the air. Something about your work is pivoting. Something about your work is shifting powerfully. And you're being reminded in this, or you're being directed in this reading to widen your perceptions when it comes to that part of your work. There's a new way of doing things coming through. So let's pull some cards for you. Let's see what's going on, what you're trying to release when it comes to your work and your spiritual journey when it in this eclipse energy. Your reading is quite interesting. So I can see that you're feeling this new birth happening for you in your energy. The card I pulled that shed that light for me is this Knight of Cups. It's like there's a new layer of energy that's trying to come in. Like your teachings have been like this so far, this layer, this layer, this layer. There's a new layer trying to come in and come through you. And the way that these things come in and come through is through life, right? Is through your experiences, is through what's happening to you, around you, and to you, what's being communicated to you in relationships, what experiences you're having through life. Like, that's how those energies present themselves, so that you can process them through your psyche, process them through your heart, process them in any way you need to, and then layer them into your teachings. And I'm hearing that what is trying to come through for you is a new layer of understanding of love. A new understanding of love, almost like a new frequency of love, a new depth of love, a new perspective of love. And for some of you, it may be showing up in your life through issues happening in relationships. If you're in a relationship, those issues are showing you or pushing your mind to think from a different perspective, to step back and reconsider something. What am I not seeing here? Why is this happening in my relationship? Why is this person acting this way? Why, it's making you move out of the spot that you always view love in, and move into another spot to see it from another perspective. This is definitely about love. And it's funny because it's about love, but it's about your work in relation to love. And it makes sense because there is a new layer of consciousness that's trying to be unveiled, birthed, expressed in the physical reality right now. And it is deeply interconnected with love, with human beings understanding what it means to sit at the seat of love and conduct your life from the space of love. We've been shown that we've been pushed into this matrix of thinking of love as something you have between a man and a woman, or a woman and woman, and a man and a man. But that feeling, yes, it's that, but that's the tip of what love really means. That's the tip of the iceberg. We're missing the depth, the great depth beneath that concept. And you're being pushed through this training ground of understanding love from a different perspective, so that you can help to usher in that level of consciousness onto the earth. Your concepts of self-love is slowly trying to redefine itself. Your concepts of what it means to love a person and to be loved by a person is being transformed. I'm hearing that some of you are going to start working with the energy of love when it comes to healing as well. There's one thing to heal from the perspective of Reiki, heal from the perspective of modern medicine, heal from the perspective of herbal medicine. But there is a new healing energy, a new layer of energy healing that's coming into this planet, and it is healing through love, through sitting in your heart space. I'm hearing that some of you, that once you learn to anchor yourself in your heart space and move from your heart space, you realize it's not just about loving everyone and I love you sister, I love you brother, if you slap me I still love you, if you punch me I still love you, but it's the tangible things that you can do from the space of love. I'm being shown Jesus right now. And I'm hearing that the miracles that he was able to perform, he was able to do so because his consciousness sat in his heart space. He wasn't connected to his heart space. He was existing in his heart space. His heart space was him. He was one with it. Was him and he was it. And because he was sitting and moving and thinking from this space of love, he was able to do these tangible physical things. So we're moving away from seeing love as an emotion that makes us feel nice to understanding and using love in a palpable, physical way to affect change in the 3D. That's the layer of understanding that's trying to come through in your teaching. Ooh. I'm hearing for some of you, there's so many cards on the table, and I'm still on this one because this message is super powerful, so bear with me. I'm hearing that some of you are going to be doing unbelievable things on this planet once you master this concept. It's almost like, not almost, it is. Like once this concept sits in your spirit and you truly embody it, you're going to be on ascending master level right here on earth. You're going to be at that level of existence that we hardly see nowadays. You're going to be able to do those types of miracles. You're going to be able to affect the 3D in a way that makes everyone stop and stare. And so what's being released for you in this eclipse season is the old identity of who you are and what you can do, because you're stepping up into the ranks of ascending master. Like you've been doing good work. You've been affecting change. You've been touching people's lives. But now it's time for you to shed that skin so that you can step into this love consciousness, so that you can step into this ascending master consciousness, because your lifetime here on earth is to push you through this wall. Like it's almost like you've reached like a ceiling, and this lifetime it's for you to break through that ceiling and come out on the other side, this new person. And the process of breaking through that ceiling, you're shedding this old skin. So in this energy, you may feel super uncomfortable. You may be feeling this turmoil of energies that have you thinking, I thought I was past this. I thought I worked on these things before. Why am I feeling this way? Why am I feeling so perturbed? It's because you're in the process of breaking through that energetic barrier right now. And as you break through, honey, I have chills. I have chills because as you break through, the version of you that's coming out is super powerful. And you're feeling this way, and I explained a bit of this before, but it's in the next set of cards. You're feeling this way because, is this gonna focus? Queen of Cups reverse, Four of Cups reversed. You're feeling this way because the process of breaking through that barrier requires all of your emotions to come up and around you. That's what I'm seeing in energy. Like I explained in some of my piles before this, it's very hard to translate energy into proper flowing words sometimes. So sometimes they come out jumbled, but I'm seeing like energy just flowing all around you. So you might be feeling like this emotional turmoil, and you're thinking, I've cultivated peace and balance in my life. Why is it that now I feel like this upheaval that I used to feel way back when? It's because you're breaking through that barrier, and breaking through that barrier requires all of you to come up and out and to assist you in pushing through that barrier so that you can emerge. But don't worry, it's only for a short time. This eclipse energy stirring up those emotions, stirring up that energy. It's almost like I see you. It's almost like I see you going through like Super Saiyan mode, like, oh, like that energy is just like here. Like your energy levels are here. Your emotion levels are here. It's there for a reason. So be thankful for it, because it's pushing you through to the next level. So how do you actually pass through that barrier? How do you move up nicely into that next level that's trying to come through in your life? The Two of Cups reversed. I'm hearing that for some of you, you need to release your old template of love. And that releasing of the old template of love is going to be painful for some of you, because for some of you, that means releasing a person. For some of you, that means releasing goals that you've held on to for years, that you've been trying to achieve for years. For some of you, that means letting go of all of the things that made you comfortable when it comes to love. And even though I'm saying it, I'm smiling because I know that on the other side is beauty. It's another layer of beauty that you cannot understand while you're on this side. So here in the middle is the stuff you need to release, and the process of releasing. On the other side is beauty. You're over here and you can't see how releasing this stuff, you can't see how releasing this is going to be good for you, is going to teach you anything, is going to bring more happiness. You can't see it because you're on this side. But if you trust your path so far and trust the fact that all of your inner knowings, all of your guidances has led you to this point, and you've had to do difficult things in the past that didn't make sense to you at the time, but looking back, you can see why it made sense. You can see the beauty that came out of it. You can see the better that happened on the other side. You're being called to trust that knowing now. Release who you need to release. Release what you need to release. Let it go. Allow it to happen. Don't hold on. And on the other side of this is the new understanding, that new template of love that's going to be more beautiful than anything you've ever experienced in all your life. It's like I can feel the energy of fear with that release. The energy of fear of, if I release this person who's been good to me, or who I'm comfortable with, I'm just going to be alone. Or if I release this, I'm not going to have anything. What if I'm wrong? What if this? You've been doing this long enough to know. You've been doing this long enough to know when Spirit is nudging you in a direction, and you know Spirit is nudging you in this direction. Release. Let it go. You know why? Because you also know if you do not willingly participate in the process of letting this go, life is going to slap it out of your hand. And like I always say, you don't want life to slap you, because when life slaps you, it's going to be done in a more harsh way than it needed to be done. Release. And at the end of this release, where are you going with this? The Knight of Swords. Do you see that man? He is in mid-run. He is sprinting. What is he sprinting towards? A bike, something that's going to take him even further, even faster. What's above his head? A bird soaring. What's in front of him? A whole path. What's happening to you after you understand these concepts, embody these concepts, release what's supposed to be released? You are zooming. Your development, your spiritual development is going to take off like this. The next phase of your development is just going to go thing after thing after thing after thing is going to happen. It's like this beautiful unfolding, but very quickly once you pass through this one barrier. The barrier that you're facing mostly right now is that releasing, is that letting go. And that's what the energy of the eclipses are here to facilitate you with. Releasing, letting go. And once you do that, man, your energy is going to soar. I'm hearing for some of you, your career is going to take out. Your career is going to take off so quickly and at a level that's so far above anything you've ever imagined. That's why I told you that ascending master energy is what it's at. It's like whatever you conceive that you can achieve in this reality, you're about to experience 10 times the heights once you pass through this barrier of releasing. That's so beautiful. The Hermit reversed is the card that came out next, and it's just reiterating this idea of internal release. I feel a lot of sadness with this card. I almost feel like I want to cry now. I feel like for someone watching this, the thing that you need to release is your whole concept of love. And your whole concept of love was wrapped up in a person that you cannot let go. It feels like you cannot let go. And with every energy of forward movement, there is an energy that's pushing in the opposite direction, trying to keep you where you are, push you further back. And I'm hearing that feeling of I cannot let this person go. I cannot, is that energy pushing you back. Some of you, you're gonna have a really strong internal battle. And it makes sense, because to graduate, to push through that barrier that we spoke about earlier into the level of or to the heights of ascending masters and those higher levels of consciousness and energy, it's going to require releasing a lot. So the question is, are you up for this battle? Are you up for this release? Are you up for this inner work? The choice is yours. You can choose to stay where you are, stay with this template of love that you have, because it's not a bad template. It's not that this template is wrong. It's that this template is level 2 or 3, and Spirit wants you in this lifetime to dig deeper and get to level 6, 7, and 8. So you have a choice here to stick to the old template. That's okay. That's good. Or to fight that battle, to go inward, the Hermit card, and release what you need to release so that you can receive the higher level templates. That's a tough one. That's a tough one, because I can feel the turmoil, and I can feel how good what you have and where you are right now is. So it's one thing to release something that's crappy and that's not working, or to release a life of lack and strife. It's a complete different thing to release something that is working, that does make you happy on a certain level, that is great, with the promise of something greater. Do you know what I mean? Like letting go of $1 million because someone says, hey, you're gonna have 5 million over there. It's like, do you actually release $1 million? Or do you say to yourself, you know what, I'm good. I don't know if that 5 million is actually coming. I'm gonna stay with my million. The choice is yours. The choice is yours. I personally hope you release and take the higher level template, because that is what your soul is here to do at this time. Because that's the thing. This is personal, but it's also not. Because this personal decision of releasing, accepting a new template or not, impacts your ability to teach. It impacts whether or not you're going to be able to teach this higher level understanding. Ooh, child. I'm curious to know what you choose, but the reader's drawback is that I never get to know. At the end of all of this upheaval, at the end of these energies trying to push you to change and release and let go, what you are receiving on the other end is super beautiful. 3 cards jumped out when I asked for one. The Moon reversed. Is this gonna focus? There we go. The Moon reversed. The Strength card reversed. And the 8 of Wands. What's coming to you at the end of this, I've already revealed, but it's being reinforced by this card. A deeper understanding of universal truths. And in this reading for you, the universal truth you're getting a deeper understanding of is love. a deeper connection with your heart space. This Strength card reverse is pulling my consciousness to my heart when I look at it. It's a deeper, it's understanding the strength and the power of the heart. And like I said before, being able to do physical, tangible things with your deep connection with the heart. I'm hearing strength and power in love. And the Eight of Wands, fast moving, fast transmuting, fast paced change. I'm hearing that you're going to be able to heal people quicker, heal people in a way that most people haven't been able to, transform the perception and the perspectives of mass amounts of people in the blink of an eye is almost what I'm feeling. It's like, because you're sitting in the embodiment of this truth of love in your heart space, sometimes you don't even have to speak to change people. People enter your energetic sphere and are changed by virtue of your presence. Ah! That's crazy. Wow. Wow. You don't even have to talk. You don't have to learn no modalities of energy healing. You just have to be, and people are changed in your presence. It's ascending master level. That's what I'm telling you. That's what's trying to come in once you release what you need to release in this eclipse season. Whoa. The last question that I asked when I was shuffling, let me pull it up here, is, at the end of this, what has this person learned on the large scale of things? And what came up is the Four of Wands. You see the women there, they're happy, they're dancing. You can see like the universe in the background, that purple background there. What you've learned at the end of this is true joy, true happiness, true embodiment of the one, true embodiment of being one with divine consciousness. I'm hearing also that at the end of this, you would have achieved exactly what your soul came here to achieve. Wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And I pulled an oracle card for you. And the card that came out was Align Your Life. Align your life. What needs to fall away? What do you need to release? You already know because you've gone through this this reading, but this is another confirmation. The card says, what is not aligned and needs to change? And I'm going to read the description of this card in closing, because I really want you to get this message. What in your life is no longer in alignment with who you truly are? We are cyclic beings in a constant state of change, of evolution, of growth. Change is one of the only certainties of life. When you resist your cyclic nature, you resist life and feel stuck. Many of us have learned to be who the world wants us to be. But there comes a time when it's harder to hold onto this facade than it is to embrace who we truly are. To surrender to how we have changed and align life to that way of being. If you pulled this card, you are being called to let go of who you once were or things that you once defined yourself by, the job, the relationship, and the mask you wore, and to embrace who you truly are now. I promise you, I didn't read any of these things before. But I love how these cards that I pull at the end always just ties it up nicely. Thank you, Spirit. To courageously step into the person that you came here to be in full authenticity, to embrace your weirdness and your uniqueness. Ooh, listen to this part. Perhaps you have outgrown some relationships or circumstances, and it's time to reassess and bring all the parts of your life into alignment so that they are congruent with who you truly are today. What a beautiful ending. I don't know who you are, but you sound awesome and I want to be your friend. All the best with this letting go and stepping into this ascending master energy. That's crazy. And I'll see you guys in my next video.